So this is going to be another movie review. This one's called Nightwatching 2007. This is going to be a follow up to Rembrandt's J'accuse. I probably butchered that last word in the previous movie, but on the bonus features, the actors are very proud of themselves of pronouncing it correctly. So I guess they had plenty of practice from learning it from Peter Greenaway. Anyways, I'm not a big fan of Peter Greenaway. As a matter of fact, if you if you take all the European art house directors, put them together, probably Godard and Greenaway are the bottom two. Because I just can't rate any of their movies past 3 stars. I'm giving this one 1 out of 5 stars. It drags on for 2 hours 15 minutes, mostly incomprehensible dialogue. And I don't know if it just went over my head or it was just some weird kind of Greenaway dialogue that only he understands and maybe a few other people. Might be a combination of both, but in any case, it's just once again Greenaway points the finger at some kind of conspiracy. So the movie is an allegory to the painting is an allegory to the conspiracy of murder within the militia group, some kind of power struggle. I couldn't keep track of all the names, but there's some dude named Kent. He's supposed to be a bad guy, and he's in the painting, of course. And then, although I am attracted to conspiracy theories. I just couldn't get into this movie. It was just too long and too much boring dialogue, in my opinion. Rembrandt is portrayed as this kind of iconoclast, which is odd because Greenaway kind of contradicts himself when he says that when he was taking art class in the late 60s, he disliked Rembrandt because I guess he was too mainstream for Greenaway's Bolshevik taste. I guess I don't know. It's hard to tell why taking an art class in the late 60s necessarily precludes you from appreciating the subject matter involved, but there's that. And so I don't even know why he's doing this movie. I guess to prove that he knows something about art history, and he does say that there are 50 something mysteries in the painting, and he solves all of them, but with this conspiracy theory of his. And then he's got the orphanage that the militia runs is also a brothel house for 13-year-olds and whatnot. One of them gets scalded in the face with hot water. A lot of the scenes are in the Rembrandt's J'accuse movie that I reviewed before I kind of sandwiched Abby in between. And so it has that. The last half of the movie is just really bad, uh, really bad Radley Metzger kind of softcore porn with all the kinds of sex acts you can imagine. Although the camera angles are tricky, you do see a lot of full frontal nudity in this one, and it's a little odd when Rembrandt is doing anal sex on his chambermaid or whatever. He's like he doesn't have an erection going, so it's like it doesn't look real to me somehow. But anyway, there's that. You get to see chubby Rembrandt with his ding-a-ling hanging out quite a bit, and he gets naked a lot in this one for some unknown reason. Um, I guess it's to show that Rembrandt's life was heading downhill, and I'm not sure how the conspiracy fits in. If these mistresses were being bribed by the militia or whatnot, the part wasn't really clear in the movie, but the movie kind of ends abruptly. Like, okay, you kind of cut it off, and the important part where his life is starting to slide downhill, and you just say, well, the the militia's efforts to smear Rembrandt's reputation continue, and that's the end of the movie. Sorry if I spoiled it, but it's not much of an ending anyway, and it's just kind of like, well, why can't you just take out all the sex scenes and some of the boring filler scenes with just people standing around talking about nothing important, and you could just fill the rest of the movie with his downward slope into debauchery after his wife died with his two mistresses, and so it kind of ends with the second mistress, and we don't know what happens to Rembrandt after that. From the time when I guess the beginning time with his second mistress, who also happens to be 20 years old younger than him. From the beginning of that time until his death, we don't know what happens other than the militia's smearing his reputation. Was kind of disappointing ending, if you ask me. But anyways, what do I get? So what happened was I had like 4 days off, something ridiculous, and so I went to the post office on Wednesday, thinking, okay, I got all these DVDs, I'm gonna watch them and whatnot. Maybe it was Thursday, I guess, and yeah, it must have been Thursday. And I just ended up taking naps, and my son was bored. He wanted me to get more involved with this stuff on the laptop, so I found this funny libertarian holiday gift guide video from Reason TV on James Weeks II Facebook page, and he just started cracking up. We watched it like 10 times. Has the naked fat guy bobblehead, and every time he saw that, he just started cracking up. The naked dancing fat guy bobblehead. And so I didn't really watch much night watching, partly because it was boring, and the other part because my son wanted me to like hang out with him, and he was starting to get bored, so I kind of felt sorry for him. So I just I told him to play with his Hot Wheels set, and we found that funny video. So that was pretty cool, and he missed me. He almost cried after I dropped him off. I kind of felt the same way. Happens every time we go on vacation, seems like. But at least he wasn't crying when I dropped him off. He's done that before. And then I saw my best friend on Saturday. And it was like the first time we met back in 2007 because we went to IHOP, which was the first place we actually met, although it was an IHOP in Renton, Washington. This one was in Hayward, California. And she had the pimple scars on the right side of her face. She had the huge lips that were just jutting out, no makeup, and the huge cheekbones. The kind of she had kind of a Vidal Sassoon kind of hairdo, whereas she's Chinese, but she bleached her hair brown, and she's got the dark skin going. She's 5'1", so she's only 3 inches taller than my son, and I was all jittery. I drank some red line for the first time in like 5 days, and I don't know. Talking to her is just like so overwhelming because she's so intelligent, and I don't know. We were just having like an intellectual conversation about this, that, and the other, and it just blew me away. I just wanted to get out of there like less than an hour because it was just happiness overload at that point, and I just had to get away. It was just too good to be true. And then she said she was going to come visit in July, presumably to be with her parents more often there in Hayward. She likes to drive down in her BMW, and she got a Series 3 turbo 6-cylinder manual transmission, and she uses it for driving down. It's about a 15-hour drive, and man, I just can't wait to see her again. I hope she'll marry me next year when if I can cash out my options and convince her to retire early or something, so she can come down here, sell her house in Renton, Washington, and we can just live here for like, I don't know, 10 years or so till my son's through college or whatever. That would be my dream, but I don't know. I think she likes my son more than me, quite honestly, and that's the only reason why she's still with me, I think, in terms of going out on dates like once a year. Anyways, enough about her. Just I don't know. There's something strange about her, exotic, that I can't really explain. It's It's like when you see a really ugly Chinese girl, and then she starts smiling at you. Uh, Her face just transforms into this thing of beauty that I can't quite put my finger on, but my son can't see it, but I could see it for some reason. Uh, okay, so I got the Sophia Loren Disc 2, which I haven't started, and kind of lagging behind on my Netflix because of the things I mentioned, the delay in the mail, my son wanting attention, and my proclivity to catch up on sleep by taking constant naps every day instead of watching that boring night watch, which is 2 hours 15 minutes too long, I might add. So I've got 1954 Attila. Well, this is Sophia Loren Disc 2. It consists of 2 movies for a total of 3 hours and 8 minutes. Okay. So this looks pretty good. Attila. And then I've got Madame Sans Jean. Something about Napoleon. Attila has Anthony Quinn, so I'm looking forward to watching that. Who's good in La Strada, of course. And also, he played the racist cop in Across 114th Street or whatever it's called. Oh, then I've got The Avenging Conscience, 1914. Yeah, 1 hour, 24 minutes, silent movie, horror film. So that should be good. I'm looking forward to Attila and The Avenging Conscience. And then I think I got more Batman and Robin serial from 1948. I think that's next up on my queue because next Netflix keeps delaying the Harmony Korine film called Mr. Lonely. Just says long wait on there. So anyways, that's the end of my review. I'm not a big fan of painting from this time period. I guess it's pre-Renaissance Dutch painting. Whatever. It's not my cup of tea, but I understand that Adrian actually saw the Night Watch hanging there, and I guess it's still in the Netherlands, hanging up there. What else do I know about this Rembrandt dude? Yeah, it seems like Greenaway is the only one who's making this conspiracy theory accusation. It's kind of interesting concept, but it just didn't resonate when it was transferred to film, I guess. I just couldn't get into it. It was way too long. The dialogue was way too boring. Unnecessary, gratuitous sex with ugly white women at the end. Although the middle woman, the chambermaid, whatever she is, she's kind of an interesting. I don't know, mildly interesting. Not as ugly as the other ones, I guess. But in any case, there's just one scene where this Rembrandt's sitting at a table, and this girl who got the scalded face, the disfigured face from getting the hot water splashed on her face for being a whore. She's just like getting washed while Rembrandt's talking at the table. So I failed to see how any of that related to the plot in any way, but maybe I missed something. Anyways, that's the end of my review. I'm not going to post the trailer of the movie in the description box. I'm not going to say highly recommend it or check it out, but I did manage to trudge my way through it this week. I'll try to get to the other three next week, and hopefully I can do Attila on Tuesday. My work next week again is kind of scattered because I have to move out tomorrow, and I don't have an internet connection yet. I don't have Wi-Fi at my new place. I have to wait until Saturday, so I might have to do the review on my phone, or maybe I'll do it like can't really do it at Starbucks. I don't know. I'll figure out something for Tuesday. I'll probably do the review on my phone, but anyways, that's in my review. Laters.